Hello and welcome to this DPR approved continuing education or CE course. This course is itself about how to use CE hours reported to attend and to sponsor DPR CE courses. We will cover a lot of ground and very quickly. CE hours reported handles a wide range of course types and manages the intricacies of interacting with DPR and your attendees in a mix of digital and paperwork formats. By the end of this course, you will be informed about the steps from creating an account, to using CE hours reported as an attendee, to managing and reporting your own CE meetings. Before we get started, I'll introduce myself. I'm Patrick Dozier and I'll be your guide through this demonstration. I'll be hanging out in the lower left-hand corner to keep an eye on you. That's right, I can tell if you're paying attention. I'm talking to you in the polo shirt. Just kidding. But take good notes because there will be an exam at the end of this demonstration. Now, let's get started. The primary reason we decided it was necessary to build the CE hours reported system was because DPR introduced new certification and training regulations in 2024. These changes significantly disrupted how continuing education, or CE, hours have traditionally been tracked and reported over the past several decades. Currently, the CE hours reported system is focused primarily on in-person meetings. The specific regulatory changes affecting these meetings include new requirements for sponsors. Sponsors now must track both the arrival and departure times of each attendee, and they must complete what's called a verification of attendance, or VOA, immediately after the meeting concludes. It needs to reflect the attendee's actual participation. Perhaps most notably, in an unprecedented step, CE sponsors are now required to directly report attendance data to DPR using DPR's digital reporting format. And for the first time ever, this mandatory reporting also includes attendance data for private applicators, also known as PAC holders, brown card holders. You might know them as your growers, whose information must be included in attendance submissions to DPR. For more information on these regulatory changes, please feel free to scan the QR code shown here to see DPR's regulatory package. The California Association of Pest Control Advisors, or CAPCA, maintains the CE hours reported system to provide one of the key benefits to our members who hold a DPR license, such as pest control advisors, or PCAs, and qualified applicators, including QALs and QACs. This benefit is comprehensive tracking of your CE courses. We simplify your DPR renewal process by conveniently compiling all your completed courses directly into DPR's newly mandated renewal summary form. You can find your pre-filled renewal summary form at CAPCA.com. CAPCA built the CE hours reported system and offers a comprehensive, free version that's available to the entire industry, regardless of your CAPCA affiliation. Our primary goal is ensuring that every license holder and every CE sponsor can track their CE hours in a way that's reliable, convenient, and fully aligned with DPR regulations. CAPCA remains committed to offering free attendee accounts and comprehensive free sponsor accounts both now and into the future. However, to ensure the long-term sustainability of this valuable service and to help underwrite ongoing software maintenance and enhancements, CAPCA now also offers optional premium sponsor accounts. These premium accounts are specifically designed for CE sponsors who wish to maximize the value they receive from our system. Premium sponsors gain access to additional features that improve collaboration, provide greater convenience in compliance with DPR, and allow sponsors to prominently showcase their brand and products. Throughout our demo today, we'll highlight several of these optional premium features. If this is your first time using CE hours reported, we suggest you get started with a free sponsor account. We understand that CE hours reported can feel like a lot to take in, especially as you and your attendees are getting familiar with the system. To help with this, we offer several ways for you to get additional support. First, we highly recommend visiting the Help Center in CE Hours Reported, which you can see on screen now. Here, you'll find detailed step-by-step documentation tailored to the different stages of your course lifecycle. This documentation is regularly updated as new features are released. Another great option is attending one of our live demos. At the time of this recording, they're typically held Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Time. While these live sessions generally cover similar content to what you're seeing in this video, you'll have the added opportunity to ask questions and to receive clarification on your specific needs. Scan the QR code to find an upcoming live demo on CAPCA's events calendar. You can also open a support ticket at any time by emailing us at help@cereported.com. We'll respond as quickly as possible, addressing the requests in the order they've been received. And finally, if you're planning a large event and need to ensure accurate attendance tracking and quick reporting, CAPCA offers our white glove service for CE Hours Reported. For more details on how we can support your event, please reach out to sales@capca.com. CE Hours Reported is a web application, meaning it runs entirely within your web browser, and all interactions happen directly through our website at cereported.com. Because it's web-based, you don't have to download or install any software, and you won't find us in app stores. Simply open your browser and go directly to cereported.com to access the system on any of your devices. Another advantage of a web app like ours is that updates happen seamlessly. Whenever we release new features or improvements, they become immediately available to you the next time you log in. No extra effort required. If you'd like CE Hours Reported to look, feel, and function like a native app, similar to the apps you download from the App Store, you can easily add it to your mobile device's home screen. Many attendees and CE sponsors who've done this have shared glowing feedback about how convenient and user-friendly the experience is. CE Hours Reported is built using progressive web app technology. This means that once you add it to your home screen, you can open it directly without browser toolbars or tabs getting in your way, just like any other app. Interacting with the app and accessing its features will feel intuitive and seamless. On screen now, you'll see two demonstrations. On the left is an Android device using Google Chrome, and on the right is an Apple device using Safari. If you're using a different browser or device configuration, you can search online for instructions on how to add a web app to your home screen. By adding CE Hours Reported to your home screen, you'll save valuable time when arriving at your CE events. Whether you're an attendee or a sponsor, this small step will help you get checked in quickly, efficiently, and with less confusion, so everyone can focus more on getting the most out of their continuing education. When creating a new account, you have two options: an attendee account or a sponsor account. Choose an attendee account if you're only planning to attend CE courses and won't be hosting any yourself. If you later decide you'd like to host courses, you can easily upgrade your attendee account to a sponsor account at no cost by contacting help@cereported.com. A sponsor account allows you to host CE courses and still attend courses yourself. If you hold a DPR license and want your hours tracked, selecting a sponsor account provides you with all the same attendee benefits. We designed CE Hours Reported this way to keep things simple for attendees who only need their CE hours tracked. When you create your account, we collect only the minimum information required by DPR. For attendees, we'll request your DPR license number or your private applicator number. We verify all DPR license numbers to ensure that they're valid and not already in use. If you encounter a validation issue, please contact help@cereported.com. For sponsors, we'll additionally require a business address and phone number. And please note that this contact information may be used in correspondence with DPR. All accounts require creating a secure password, and we appreciate your patience. We also strongly encourage you to review our terms of service and privacy policy, which are written in clear, simple language so you understand exactly how we handle and protect your information. Finally, please opt in to receive updates, as you may get invites to courses from your favorite CE sponsors and occasional updates about our system. Now let's take a quick tour of the website. The My Courses page is where you'll interact with CE Hours Reported as an attendee. If you have an attendee-only account, this will be your homepage. For sponsor accounts, it's a separate tab at the top, as shown here. Under the Available Courses subtab, you'll see a list of upcoming, publicly available courses. However, please note that there are nearly 10 times as many privately listed courses, where sponsors invite attendees directly. Clicking on any course displays important details such as date, time, location, sponsor information, and the tentative or approved CE credit, plus additional helpful information. Please note, we will refer to this as the course details view frequently in later parts of this demonstration. To register, simply click the Register button and your name and verified license number will be added to the sponsor's attendee list. If there's a registration fee, you may be asked to pay directly through CE Hours Reported, or the sponsor may handle payments externally through another website or in person at the event. Once registered, managing your courses is easy. Just return to the My Courses subtab. Here, you'll see all the courses you're registered for, both upcoming and past events. You can also unregister or cancel your registration directly from this tab. Under the My Courses subtab, you can review all the previous courses you've attended and request your verification of attendance, or VOA, directly from the sponsor. At the time of this recording, clicking the Request button sends an email notification to the sponsor, prompting them to send your VOA back to you. However, we're planning to introduce a direct download feature soon, allowing you to instantly access your VOA right from this page. View Profiles, where you can view and manage your account information. To update your details, simply click the pencil icon. Your contact information, including your address, email, and phone number, is required if you're a CE sponsor. This information will be shared with DPR when you submit your CE applications. Please note the phone number you provide here may also be publicly displayed on DPR's website. Your email address serves as your username for logging into CE Hours Reported. If you ever need to change your email address but have lost access to your account, please contact us at help@cereported.com. We can update your email and help you regain access. As mentioned earlier, we verify DPR license numbers to ensure you accurately receive the CE credits you need, and so sponsors can quickly and reliably communicate attendance information to DPR. This verification process is a significant benefit CE Hours Reported offers to both attendees and sponsors. It ensures streamlined, accurate, and efficient data communication. If you hold multiple DPR licenses, please select all applicable checkboxes. However, make sure to enter the license number for the highest tier license, or the one that requires the most CE hours. No need to add a 0 ahead of your 5-digit number. That's a legacy of the old Scantron system. If you're a private applicator, please enter your certificate number carefully, exactly as shown on your brown card. PAC numbers cannot be verified against an external database, so accuracy is important. Finally, if you've created a CE sponsor account, you'll see a separate sub-tab called Subscriptions and Services. This is where you'll manage your premium sponsor account and access any additional premium features. Many people have experienced or heard about CE Hours Reported QR code-based check-in and check-out system. Here's how it works. To comply with DPR regulations, the CE sponsor must actively check each attendee in and out. Attendees cannot check themselves in or out independently. You can think of CE Hours Reported QR code like a boarding pass. The attendee uses their QR code as a ticket to enter the CE course, while the sponsor acts like a gate agent, using their own device with the special sponsor version of CE Hours Reported to scan attendees in and out. At any time, you can easily view your QR code, or your boarding pass, within your CE Hours Reported account and use it for entry to events. Since most attendees don't carry laptops, we've demonstrated on screen how to access your QR code from your mobile device. In the future, we hope these QR codes will serve as digital signatures, eliminating the need for paper signature sheets. We're currently awaiting DPR approval to make that happen. These QR codes are designed to be secure and reliable. They protect your data and prevent fraud on our platform. Your information is fully encrypted, ensuring that only authorized CE sponsors using CE Hours Reported can decode and utilize your QR code. Now, to see how this works in real life, let's check in with my alter ego, Dusty McGraw. Is this the CE? I'm late. Where's my Scantron?
Hey, Dusty.
Hey.
Don't worry. The CE just started.
Okay.
So we're not using Scantrons anymore. We're using CE Hours Reported.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. I installed it on my phone here on the home screen.
Perfect. So let's get you to pull that out. I will scan you in, and then once I've done that, I will check your ID and have you sign in right over here. Perfect, Dusty. I got you signed in.
Okay. Here's my ID while I sign in.
That is you, Dusty Bottoms.
Okay.
Okay, now that I have you sign in, you're only going to do that once a day. And then when you leave the CE room, you're going to need to scan in and out.
In and out? I don't want to lose credit if I have to go to the bathroom or take a call or something.
You're not necessarily going to lose credit. We need to stay in DPR compliance. And if you're not in the CE room, we do need you to scan out. But we do have some flexibility if it is a short amount of time.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks. Is it CE that way?
CE's that way.
Most of the information I'm covering today is available in our Help Center, which you can access right here. As you can see, it's structured similarly to the agenda I'm presenting in this demonstration. In the About section, you'll find general information about CE Hours Reported. Under the Attendee section, you'll see information specifically tailored for attendees, including how to obtain your attendance records. The Sponsor section provides detailed guidance for sponsors, organized according to the life cycle of your course. You can easily drill down into these sections to find exactly what you need. We attempt to update this documentation, though new features take considerable time to be included. If you ever cannot find what you're looking for or need additional support, you can email us at help@cereported.com to open a support ticket. We'll spend the remainder of this course exploring the Sponsor Hub. This is where you'll manage all aspects of sponsoring CE courses, where you can create, track, report, and oversee the CE courses which you host. If you currently have an attendee-only account, you won't see the Sponsor Hub. Remember, you can easily request free access to sponsor privileges by contacting help@cereported.com. As we begin creating a course in the Sponsor Hub, I'd like to highlight an important benefit. By first creating your course here in CE Hours Reported, before submitting your application to DPR that is, you'll save yourself valuable time. After completing these simple steps, your course will be ready in our system for easy tracking and reporting, and you'll be able to download and print a fully completed DPR CE application, including the agenda formatted exactly as DPR requires. You can then easily mail this printed application directly to DPR. Please note that the requirement to print and mail a paper application along with payment is set by DPR, not by CE Hours Reported. If you have already submitted your application directly to DPR, you can still enter the same information here for CE tracking purposes. However, please ensure that the course title and other details exactly match what you've submitted to DPR. Otherwise, DPR may reject your course records. In Step 1, the contact person's details default to your profile information. However, if you're completing this form on someone else's behalf, you can easily override this and enter their details instead. Keep in mind that the phone number you enter in Step 1 will be publicly listed on DPR's website. The course title, sponsoring organization, and contact person's name will appear on the CE Hours Reported course details page. And all of the information you enter in Step 1 will also appear on your official DPR CE application. Here in Step 2, you'll enter the course date, general course time, course location, and DPR approval status. The course date is straightforward enough, but please note that DPR requires a unique course ID for each distinct day of a multi-day course. For the same course material that you'll repeat across dates and locations, you'll need DPR approval for those additional dates, and we'll discuss how CE Hours Reported handles this later in our demonstration. Here, I'm using today's recording date so we can clearly illustrate the full life cycle of a course. For the course time, we ask that you bookend your start and end times. This means selecting the nearest half-hour increment outside your actual event time. For example, if your course starts at 9:15 a.m., please select 9 a.m. here. You'll have the chance to enter more precise times in the following steps. Course location is also simple. However, if your location has a common or recognized name, we suggest entering it first, followed by a dash and then the street number. This format helps your location display clearly on the CE Hours Reported course details view. The DPR approval status field helps track your course internally and also controls how your information appears publicly. If you're creating your course from scratch, please select either planned or pending, and the CE Hours count will not be explicitly shown to attendees in accordance with DPR mandates. Once you've received DPR approval, return to this step, set the approval status to approved, and enter the DPR course ID. Currently, DPR does not integrate or communicate directly with CE Hours Reported regarding course approvals or course IDs. So you'll need to manually enter your DPR course ID code into our system. A valid DPR course ID is required before you can submit attendance data back to DPR. All the information entered here in Step 2 will be included both on the CE Hours Reported course details view and in your official DPR CE application. In the summary description field, enter an overall description of your course content and the intended audience. This summary will appear both on your official DPR CE application and in the CE Hours Reported course details view. Some sponsors also include logistics information here, like parking instructions. However, be aware that any logistics information entered at this stage will also appear on your DPR CE application. If you'd prefer your logistical information to only be visible to attendees and to not appear on your DPR paperwork, you can first enter a summary tailored specifically for DPR, generate and print your application, and then afterwards edit the summary description to include attendee-focused logistics details. Now it's time for the most detailed and also most important step in your CE Hours Reported course creation. That's structuring your course agenda. CE Hours Reported is a precise CE tracking system, and at its core is an agenda built with structured, machine-readable data. This structured format lets us precisely match each attendee's check-in and check-out timestamps to the specific speaker, topic, and CE categories they attend. As a result, CE credit is accurately and automatically calculated. Another advantage of this structured approach is flexibility. If your agenda changes, such as a speaker moving to a different time slot, you can easily rearrange agenda items by dragging and dropping. Our system instantly recalculates attendees' CE credit based on those changes, making adjustments simple and fast. To add CE credit to your course, start by adding a speaker topic. You'll enter the speaker's name, affiliation, and presentation title. These three details appear both on the CE Hours Reported Course Details view and on your official DPR CE application. The main points of the presentation field is required by DPR. If you've already submitted your DPR CE application separately, you can use a simple placeholder here, as attendees won't see this information on CE Hours Reported. However, if you are generating your DPR CE application through our system, please provide detailed main points to ensure DPR approval. Refer to our Creating a New Course section in our Help Center for detailed guidance on preparing these main points in accordance with DPR mandates. For presentation duration, enter the literal length of the presentation. The drop-down menu suggests durations in 5-minute increments, but you can manually enter any precise duration needed. Next, select the type of CE credit. Each speaker topic can have only one CE type. If one speaker will cover multiple CE types, duplicate the topic, update the CE category, adjust the presentation title to clarify, and then drag each topic into the timeline separately. Newly created topics first appear in the parking lot area. Drag each topic from here onto the timeline below to activate them. Occasionally, editing topics might return them to the parking lot. Simply drag them back onto the timeline as needed. Non-CE items such as meals or keynote speakers are visually distinct and will appear on the course details view for attendees and will clearly indicate that they do not offer CE credit. These non-CE items are not included in your official DPR CE application. They'll simply show as gaps on the DPR CE agenda. Now that you've structured your agenda in step 3, you're almost finished, and your job as a CE sponsor is about to get easier. In this next step, you'll select your course availability. Choosing Open to the Public means your course will appear publicly in CE Hours Reported, allowing anyone to find and potentially register for it from their My Courses tab. This selection will also be indicated on your DPR CE application. Selecting Closed to the Public means your course won't be listed on the CE Hours Reported My Courses tab, and your DPR application will reflect this choice. For closed courses, your attendees can only register by using a direct invite link, which I'll show you how to generate shortly. Course language is straightforward and will be displayed both on your DPR CE application and the course details view. If needed, you can enter an alternate language under Other. The target audience field is required only by DPR. Select the appropriate audience type and enter your estimated attendance. The pre-registration maximum attendance field applies only to CE Hours Reported. Once registrations reach this number, pre-registration will automatically close. You can adjust this number or manually close registration at any time. The fifth and possibly your final step is choosing if and how you want to receive payment for your course. If your course is free, simply leave this marked as free and move on. Both your DPR CE application and the CE Hours Reported Course Details view will clearly indicate that the course is free. If your course requires payment, there are two main options available. Let's begin by reviewing how to use external payment services. This means that your organization will handle and process payments directly by a system of your own design. Please note that CE Hours Reported cannot reconcile payments made externally or require attendees to pay before registering. You'll need to manage payment and CE registration independently. Enter a single attendance fee amount. We suggest the highest price an attendee might pay. This amount will appear on your DPR CE application and on the course details view. Attendees paying a lower fee will be pleased when you clarify this in subsequent interactions. You must select how payments will be processed. Choose at least one between on-site payment or URL to payment site. If you select on-site payment, please specify your accepted payment methods. If you provide a payment URL, Attendees can visit that link directly to pay from the course details view. Again, remember that CE Hours Reported cannot force attendees to follow this link, nor can we reconcile external transactions. CE Hours Reported now offers an integrated payment system, allowing CE sponsors to accept payments directly through our website. Attendees can easily pay for courses during registration without leaving the site. Payments are processed safely and securely through Stripe, the world's leading payment processor. Please note, going forward, CAPCA chapters hosting CE events will be required to use this integrated payment method and will no longer process payments through CAPCA's events website. Our integrated payment system is flexible, allowing you to set multiple price options and customize refund policies. CAPCA charges a processing fee of 5% on all transactions. Once your course attendance has been reported to DPR, our accounting department will issue a check along with detailed payment documentation, minus our processing fee. If refunds are issued, they'll reflect your chosen refund percentage, also minus our processing fee. To get started, create at least one pricing option. You can add additional options for tiered pricing. Name your pricing option, and note this nickname is internal and will not be displayed to your attendees. Set the start date, and it defaults to today, and choose an end date up to and including your course date. Enter your list price. If you'd like, you can offer a discounted price specifically for CAPCA members. Our system will automatically verify an attendee's active CAPCA, PCA, or associate membership at the time of purchase. For tiered pricing based on registration timing, simply add another pricing option, such as late registration. By default, the next pricing period starts the day after the previous period ends. If you wish to accept on-site payment, ensure you have a pricing option ending on your course date. You can accept credit cards, which will be processed through CE Hours Reported, or cash or check. For cash or check payments, attendees can be manually added or scanned in on site, but you'll need to reconcile these payments manually. Attendees viewing your course details will see one clearly displayed price, determined by their registration date and CAPCA membership status. CE Hours Reported automatically applies the pricing logic you set, ensuring attendees complete payment before they're added to your attendee list. Our integrated payment system also lets you easily set a refund policy. If you don't wish to offer refunds, simply leave this section blank. Attendees will clearly see that refunds are not available. If you choose to offer refunds, you can define your policy similarly to setting up pricing. Create one or more refund options by selecting specific date ranges. By default, the refund period begins today. To offer refunds up until your event date, set the refund end date accordingly. Next, set the refund percentage attendees will receive if they cancel within that period. Keep in mind, refunds are always calculated minus CAPCA's processing fee. For example, if you set a 100% refund, attendees receive 95% after deducting CAPCA's 5% fee. Many sponsors prefer to end refunds before the course date, perhaps 2 weeks prior, to avoid late cancellations. You can also offer tiered refunds by creating additional refund periods with decreasing refund percentages as the event approaches. Your refund policy will appear clearly for attendees on the course details view. CE Hours Reported and Stripe will automatically process refunds according to the policy you set here. If you're using a CE Hours Reported premium sponsor account, you'll see an additional step 6. Here I'm demonstrating pro level features. First, you can assign team members to collaborate on this course. Each member's access level depends on their team role. Team coordinators can view and edit course details, while team members assist only with attendee check-in and check-out. This is especially helpful at large events, allowing multiple team members to streamline attendee entry and exit. Next, you can easily share your course by adding a contact list from a previous event. When your course is published, attendees who previously opted in to receive communications from CE Hours Reported will automatically receive a direct invite link. At the end of this demonstration, I'll show you how to create and manage these contact lists. Finally, each team has a default banner image set at the team management level. However, you have the option to customize the banner specifically for this course. For example, a vineyard photo for a grape growers event. Simply upload a unique banner here and it will display only for this particular course. After you've completed all the course creation steps, you'll have the option to review your course. This preview will show exactly how your attendees will experience the course details view, allowing you to make final adjustments before publishing. If you're a premium sponsor, your courses will be published instantly without additional review. However, because anyone on the internet can create a free sponsor account, we have a quick verification step to ensure inappropriate or illegitimate content is not posted. This verification typically takes up to 1 business day. After initial approval, any future edits you make will be published immediately without further review for this course. Now that your course is published, you can find it under the Sponsor Hub in the Active Courses section. Clicking on your course will display 2 tabs, Course Details and Attendee List. Course Details shows a view similar to what attendees see in their Course Details view, while the Attendee List tab shows who has registered for your course so far. Throughout your course's lifecycle, you'll see a button called Sponsor Tools. Clicking Sponsor Tools provides several options tailored to your course's current status. These options will change as your course progresses, always showing the most relevant actions you can take at that time. Let's now explore some important sponsor tools available to you before your course takes place. Let's begin by reviewing the Print DPR CE application tool found about midway down the Sponsor Tools menu. Clicking this generates a PDF version of your entire official DPR CE application. You'll first see a pop-up reminder stating your application is not complete until it's printed and mailed to DPR. Just click OK to proceed. Our system will automatically download the PDF to your computer, usually into your Downloads folder. The PDF contains several pages. The first page includes important instructions from CE Hours Reported. Please read these carefully, but do not include this page in your mailing to DPR. The second page is DPR's official CE application form. All details you enter during course creation will automatically populate here. Please note you must physically sign at item I, the applicant's signature, before mailing. The next 2 pages contain DPR's instructions, which duplicate much of our own guidance, and these can remain with your mailed application. Finally, the DPR agenda appears, formatted exactly as DPR requires. This agenda includes your course description, logistical details if they're included, and the main points for each presentation. CE Hours Reported automatically adjusts the document's length based on your input. Once you've printed the form, be sure to sign it, attach payment, and mail it to the appropriate DPR address. We strongly recommend using certified mail to confirm delivery. This can help prevent delays in DPR's processing of your CE application. Imagine you're one of the lucky sponsors whose CE application gets quickly approved by DPR without additional follow-up. The contact person you listed will receive an approval email from DPR containing a critical piece of information, your DPR course ID code. CE Hours Reported requires this DPR course ID code to submit your attendance data back to DPR after the course ends. Additionally, the approved CE hours and categories won't be explicitly shown to attendees until you've entered this code. Remember, DPR does not communicate this course ID code directly to CE Hours Reported. It is your responsibility as the sponsor to enter it into our system. Fortunately, this step is straightforward. Under Sponsor Tools, simply click Input DPR Course ID. This takes you directly to Step 2 of the Course Edit page. Here, change your DPR approval status to approved and carefully enter your DPR course ID. While our system can verify the basic format of the ID, it cannot confirm the exact accuracy of the number, so please double check it carefully. It is valid to reuse this same course ID for additional dates or locations, but make sure you've received DPR approval for each of those events first. Later in this demonstration, I will show you how easy it is to add course dates with a pro sponsor account. Once you save these changes, your course details view will clearly display the CE hours to your attendees, and you'll be ready to quickly report accurate attendance data back to DPR when your course is done. The easiest way for attendees to find your course details and register is by using a direct invite link. Under Sponsor Tools, select Share Link, and a pop-up will let you copy this special link to share with your attendees. This link works for both public and private courses. And for private courses, it's the only way attendees can view your course details and pre-register. Please remember that anyone with this link can access your course and potentially register. If someone follows your link but is not logged in or doesn't yet have an account, they'll be guided through the login or account creation process. In some cases, after logging in, the user may need to click your link again to reach your private course details page. If an attendee struggles, just remind them to log in first and then click the link again. It's imperative to copy the invite link from Sponsor Tools. Do not use the URL from your browser's address bar. That's your private sponsor access and won't work for attendees. Once copied, feel free to share this link via email, convert it into a QR code, or publish it on flyers or newsletters to effectively promote your event. Another valuable sponsor tool, available only with the Plus and Pro subscriptions, is the ability to import an attendee list from your own system. Click Import Attendee List and you'll see a dialog box where you can upload your file. Be sure to use our provided template, which you can download from that same screen. The template is simple. It includes columns for separated first and last name, DPR license numbers for PCAs, QALs, and QACs, and a separate column for PAC or grower numbers. Email addresses are optional, but if you'd like our system to email verifications of attendance or VOAs to your attendees, be sure to include them. We do not create accounts for these attendees, or send marketing emails, or share their info. The email is only used to deliver the VOA for your course. Once your file is complete, upload it from your hard drive and your attendee list will be instantly populated into the system for your course. DPR requires that attendees sign in to confirm their presence and acknowledge their knowingly participating in your course. While DPR's new regulations allow either a traditional wet signature or an e-signature, DPR has not yet provided clear guidance on acceptable e-signature formats. For now, all sponsors must collect traditional wet signatures on paper. CE Hours Reported provides two types of signature sheets. The pre-filled signature sheets list the names and license numbers of pre-registered attendees in alphabetical order by last name. Attendees simply find their name and sign on the appropriate line. The blank signature sheets are for walk-ins or unregistered attendees. These require attendees to write their name and, most importantly, their DPR license number clearly and accurately. Email is optional, but if provided, it allows CE Hours Reported to automatically send them a VOA. Emails are used only for VOA delivery. No account is created, and they won't receive marketing or spam. Both sheets also include two optional columns that sponsors can use for internal tracking, such as payment status, materials received, or manual in and out times. While CE Hours Reported handles check-in and check-out digitally, some sponsors use these columns as a backup. For example, if an attendee arrives late or leaves early, their actual arrival and departure times can be noted here. Finally, for small in-person meetings, like short branch lunches with a handful of attendees, some sponsors choose to rely solely on the signature sheet. After the event, they manually enter attendee info and assign CE credit in the system. We'll show you how that works later in the demo. It's the big day. Time for your CE courses to take place. In this next section, we'll walk through how to use CE hours reported for live tracking at your event. You'll learn how to quickly and accurately check in attendees, monitor their participation, and get everything ready for smooth, reliable reporting once your course wraps up. At 12:01 a.m. Pacific Time on the calendar day of your course, a large green button labeled Launch Live Tracking will appear. This lets you enter live tracking mode ahead of your course's actual start time. Once you click Launch Live Tracking, the user interface will update and simplify. We'll focus on the essential tools you'll need during the live event, like checking in attendees and accessing key sponsor tools. If you do not launch live tracking, CE hours reported will automatically move your course to the Past Courses section of the Sponsor Hub once the scheduled end time is reached. There are 3 ways to check attendees into your course. We designed this flexibility to accommodate all attendees, whether or not they have an account with CE hours reported. Let's start with the most time-intensive option, manual entry. If an attendee does not have a CE hours reported account or cannot access it at the time of check-in, you can still track their attendance and send them a VOA. Start by entering their DPR or PAC numbers. Our system will check if they have an account and pre-fill any available information. If no account is found, enter their full name exactly as shown on their ID. Email is optional, but if you want to send them an automated VOA, enter their email address now. We will not create an account or use the email for anything else, just to send them their verification of attendance. Next, we will see how to check in pre-registered attendees. Checking in pre-registered attendees is quick and easy. Just click the green check-in button next to their name. The direction and color of the button always indicate the action it will perform when clicked. And now for the fastest check-in, the QR code scanner. Tap Scan QR and scan the attendee's code whether or not they have pre-registered. Their name and license number will be instantly added to your attendee list, and they will be checked in at that moment. Once attendees are added to your list, you can use a mixture of check-in and check-out buttons and the QR code scanner. Both work in the same way by adding a timestamp to the attendee's record. At any time during your course, you can edit an attendee's record. Just click the pencil icon next to their name to view their timestamp activity. To make a change, click on the specific timestamp, make your edit, and be sure to click the check mark on that row to confirm the change before hitting Save. Here are a few important reminders to keep in mind while you're live tracking your course. These requirements come directly from DPR regulations and may not be fully handled within CE hours reported. At first check-in, you must verify each attendee's identity using a government-issued ID. You're also required to collect a physical or e-signature at that initial check-in. As of now, CE hours reported supports only traditional wet signatures. If you're planning to receive CE credit for attending your own course, remember it can only be awarded once per DPR course ID, and only if you're present in the CE area. Speakers are not eligible for CE credit during the time they're actively presenting. CE hours reported does not automatically adjust for this, so you'll need to account for it manually. If you prefer to distribute blank VOAs on-site instead of using the automated system, you're free to do so. But CE hours reported cannot track or support these VOAs. In case of an audit, only system-generated VOAs can be verified. DPR also requires that attendees check out whenever they leave the CE area, and that you, as the sponsor, remind attendees at the start of the course to minimize distractions. Following these guidelines will help ensure your course remains compliant, protect you in the event of an audit, and you'll be sure that all attendees receive the credit that they've earned. Once your CE course concludes, go to Sponsor Tools and click End Live Tracking. This will move your course into the Past Courses sub-tab on the Sponsor Hub and will prepare it for the final steps of reporting to DPR and sending VOAs. When you end live tracking, you'll be given two options. You may automatically check out all currently checked in attendees by applying the current time as their checkout timestamp. Or you can manually check out attendees later, giving you full control over who receives credit and when. It is important to note that if an attendee has a check-in timestamp, but no corresponding checkout, they will not receive DPR credit for that portion of the course. As the CE sponsor of record, you are ultimately responsible for the accuracy of all timestamps. CE Hours Reported serves only as a documentation tool to support your compliance. Now that your course is over, take a deep breath. You've made it through the hard part and you're almost done. From here, you have 14 calendar days to report your attendance data to DPR. But we know many CE sponsors are true professionals and like to wrap things up right away. Honestly, from my personal experience, it feels great when everything's submitted and the VOAs land in attendees' inboxes while they're still walking out the door. You're on the home stretch. Let's finish strong. Remember, once you ended live tracking, your course was moved to the past courses section of the sponsor hub. From here, many of your tools become available again. You can review the course details, see your attendee list, and access a full set of sponsor tools to complete the final steps. If you're unsure of what to do next, look for the green info box at the top of your past courses screen. It contains a helpful 5-step checklist to guide you through verifying your course, reporting to DPR, and sending out VOAs and other documentation. This guide will stay visible for the remainder of the course's lifecycle. If you have not entered your DPR course ID yet, now's a great time to do so. This step is required before you can complete your final reporting to DPR. The first step is to review and verify your agenda. Keep in mind, making changes to the agenda after you have received DPR approval may require resubmitting details to DPR. Whether or not that's necessary depends on the nature of the change. If you're unsure whether an update needs to be reported, reach out to us at help@cereported.com. One of the most important steps after your course is verifying your attendee list. You'll find it under the Attendee List subtab. Here, you'll see each attendee's name, license number, and the CE hours they've been credited, broken down by category including laws, aerial, other, and the total. Start by reconciling the number of attendees in the system with the number of signatures on your physical sign-in sheet. This helps ensure that everyone was captured both digitally and on paper. Next, quickly scan the credit each attendee received and look for anything unusual, like someone showing 0 hours. This typically means they didn't attend. However, if there's a check-in timestamp without a corresponding checkout, no credit will be awarded for that time. If you know they were present but just forgot to check out, you can easily edit their timestamp to correct it and ensure they get the credit that they earned. If you need to add an attendee after the course, you can still do so. The process is the same as during live tracking, but instead of assigning timestamps, you'll manually award CE credit based on the CE hours approved by DPR. As mentioned earlier, some sponsors hosting small in-person meetings prefer to use a signature sheet during the event and then add all attendees afterward. If that's your approach, now's the time. Just go ahead and add them manually. We've heard from many sponsors that once attendees get used to the CE hours reported and to the QR check-in and check-out, the number of errors and missing credit drops significantly. In fact, the final reporting process becomes so fast that many sponsors can complete it in just seconds. It really makes a difference. Check it out. Now it's time for the real magic of CE hours reported: automated attendance reporting to DPR. Select Send Report to DPR under Sponsor Tools. A pop-up will appear with the DPR mandated Excel file already generated in the correct format with your information. You do not need to use the file DPR originally emailed to you. We've replicated it exactly and confirmed it's fully compatible with their system. You can download the file for your records, but when you click Send, you're confirming two things. One is that you're certifying that the report is accurate. And two is that you're authorizing CE hours reported to transmit it to DPR on your behalf. Please note, CE hours reported and CAPCA are not responsible for the accuracy of the data. That responsibility lies with you as the sponsor. Once sent, CE hours reported will email the file to sponsorrecords@cdpr.ca.gov, which is the official DPR inbox for CE attendance data. The contact person listed on the course will be carbon copied, so you'll get a confirmation copy. The body of the email will include your course name, date, and sponsor info. And as of this recording, CE hours reported has submitted nearly 3,000 records to DPR with a 99.9% acceptance rate. Also, when the data is sent to DPR, it is simultaneously shared with CAPCA. This means CAPCA's PCA, QAL, and QAC members will automatically see your course reflected in their DPR renewal summary, saving them time and making you a hero in their eyes. A common question is, what if I forgot someone, made a mistake, or need to make an update? DPR has advised us that it's better to submit the report early, even before the 14-day deadline, and then send corrections afterward if needed. I'll quickly show you how to submit updates later in this demo. It's almost the exact same process. And with that, you've now reported to DPR in full compliance, and your CAPCA members have their hours tracked automatically. 2 big steps are done. Let's move on to the final stretch. One of the biggest time savers for CE hours reported sponsors is our automated verification of attendance, or VOA, generation and delivery service. It's helped eliminate thousands of hours of tedious data entry by automating the entire process. Let's walk through the easiest way to send VOAs to all your attendees at once. After you've reported attendance to DPR, a new option will appear in Sponsor Tools. Send Course VOAs starts a process on our cloud-based servers that generates a VOA for each attendee, including their name, license, and total CE hours earned. It emails it individually to everyone with an email address on file. You can exit the page while this runs. Depending on our server load, the process might take 10 or 15 minutes. Once complete, you'll receive a confirmation email. If any VOAs could not be delivered, either because an attendee didn't provide an email or there was a delivery issue, our system will bundle those VOAs into a zip file and email it to you. That way, you can store them for your records or distribute them the old-fashioned way. After you've sent all VOAs in bulk, any additional VOAs must be sent individually. To do this, find the attendee on your list and click the email icon next to their name, or use the 3-dot menu on mobile. If a VOA has already been sent, the system will notify you, but you can still choose to resend it. We find this helpful to inform you that you didn't fail to send a VOA, it's just that the attendee lost it. It happens all the time. If the attendee doesn't have an email address on file, the system will send their VOA to your email instead, so that you can deliver it manually. It is also worth noting here that attendees can request their VOA directly from the My Courses tab under Past Courses. When they do, you'll receive an email letting you know they've made the request, along with a link to access the attendee list. You'll need to manually click the email icon to send it. To prevent abuse, attendees can only request a VOA from a sponsor once per 24-hour period. We've also noticed that first-time attendees sometimes click the Request My VOA button out of curiosity, so don't be surprised if you get a few extra requests right after your event. We plan to automate this process so attendees can self-serve their VOA in the future, but for now it's still manual. At this point, you're fully compliant with DPR's requirements. Well done! You've tracked attendance according to regulations, submitted your report in the correct format, and delivered compliant VOAs to your attendees. Now you have the option to upload a copy of your physical signature sheets. These are not transmitted to DPR, but DPR regulations require that you retain them for 3 calendar years after the date of your course, and that you must be ready to present them to DPR if requested. CE Hours Reported offers this upload feature as a courtesy, allowing you to back up your records in the cloud and keep everything organized alongside your course data. This can be incredibly helpful if your course is ever audited. You can return and upload your signature sheets at any time, so no pressure if now isn't convenient. Please note that your uploaded signature sheets will be stored on the Files subtab, along with the latest DPR attendance record. And a quick technical note, depending on your internet connection, file size, and file type, our uploader may occasionally hang. At the time of this recording, we're aware of a pesky bug that can cause the spinner to freeze. Upload should take no more than 15 seconds. If it spins for more than 30 seconds, please try closing and reloading the page, then uploading again. So far, we've walked through the normal workflow for a CE sponsor using CE hours reported from start to finish. But if you have past courses or courses you've handled outside of our system, there are a few more things I'd like to quickly point out before we conclude. It's common for a CE sponsor to make updates to their CE attendance after the course records have been submitted to DPR. To do this, simply edit the attendee list, either by adding a new attendee or adjusting an existing attendee's timestamps. Then go to Sponsor Tools and select Update Report to DPR. The system will generate a new email to DPR Sponsor Records inbox. The process is the same as the original submission, but with the updated wording on the body of the outgoing email, which explains that it is an update to a previously reported course. Your update will also be reflected immediately in CAPCA's tracking system, and a copy of the latest Excel file will be stored in the Files subtab for your records. Finally, you can send the VOAs to your updated attendees by clicking the email icon. If you've already reported your course to DPR outside of the CE hours reported system, but you still want CAPCA to track the hours for your attendees, or if you've hosted an online course that cannot be run through our system, we've got a simple solution. Sponsors who have already filled out the DPR Excel file correctly can instantly import their attendance records without recreating the entire course in CE hours reported. To do this, go to the Sponsor Hub and then the Past Courses subtab, and look for the green Import Course button. Upload your completed DPR Excel file, and our system will read and process it automatically. If the file is not formatted properly, you'll get a notice. If you need help fixing or uploading the file, just reach out to us at help@cereported.com. On the upload screen, you'll see an option labeled, "I need to send this attendance data to DPR." Leave this unchecked if you've already submitted the file to DPR. If not, you can use this option to send it through our system. Once uploaded successfully, CAPCA tracking will update immediately. Your attendees will appreciate your support, and you will not have to input extra information. I'm going to wrap up this demonstration with two powerful premium sponsor features available in the Plus and Pro accounts. These tools are a big reason to consider upgrading from a free sponsor account. First up, the Roadshow tool, which is available in Plus and Pro. This feature is designed for sponsors who host the same DPR-approved course at multiple dates and locations. Since the content is already approved, all you need is DPR's approval to add additional dates. And CE hours reported makes that process fast and easy. You can create a roadshow from any upcoming or past course. For this demo, we'll use a past course. Go to Sponsor Tools and click Create Roadshow. You'll see your course title and DPR course ID, both of which must remain unchanged per DPR rules. To add another date and location, click Add a Date. You can assign a different contact person for each location if needed. This is really valuable for sales teams that use CE as a sales tool for their seasonal campaigns. Then pick the upcoming course date. While our system allows you to choose dates less than 15 days out, DPR prefers submissions at least 15 days in advance, so short notice approvals are not guaranteed. You'll then select a new start time. Our system will automatically adjust the agenda to match without needing to manually edit it. Finally, just update the location, language, and click Add. You can add as many dates and locations as you'd like. Once you're done, click Create and we'll generate a new roadshow for you. You'll have the option to send DPR their required add-a-date form, that's Form LIC-132. You can choose to send it now or later, but DPR must approve each additional date for it to be valid. If you choose Send Now, our system generates a completed PDF and emails it to cemail@cdpr.ca.gov, with you copied for confirmation. DPR usually approves these quickly by email. Just remember, CE Hours Reported does not track whether DPR has approved your new dates. You're responsible for confirming that approval. Once your roadshow includes 2 or more dates, you'll unlock the Roadshow Hub under Sponsor Tools for this set of courses. The Roadshow Hub is your central dashboard to manage your roadshow instances. While you can view and organize your added dates here, note that the course title and DPR course ID must match your approved DPR application and must remain consistent across all instances of the course. As time goes on, you can continue adding new dates and locations. When submitting to DPR again, our system will only include the newly added instances, keeping your reporting clean and efficient. Finally, let's look at a valuable pro-level feature, saving a contact list from one of your past courses so you can easily invite those attendees to future events. After you've reported your course to DPR, go to Past Courses, find the course you'd like to use, and under Sponsor Tools, select Save Contact List. Give the list a custom name, which is for your reference only. Our system will save that list with all attendees who opted in to receive communications. To view your saved list, go to My Team and click Contacts. While you'll see saved lists there, you won't be able to view attendees' email addresses due to our privacy policy. Later, when you're creating a new course, in Step 6, you'll have the option to add one of your saved contact lists. When the course is published, CE Hours Reported will automatically send an invitation email to everyone on that list who opted in, inviting them to register for your course. This tool is especially valuable for sales teams running roadshows. You can build contact lists for each location. And for large organizations that host annual events, it gives you an easy way to grow and re-engage your attendee base year after year. That brings us to the end of this CE Hours Reported demonstration. Today we walked through everything you need to know as an attendee and as a CE sponsor, from creating a course and navigating DPR requirements to checking in attendees, reporting hours, and sending out VOAs. We also explored powerful premium tools like roadshows and contact lists that can save you time and improve your attendees' experience. Whether you're a first-time sponsor or a seasoned pro, CE Hours Reported is built to support your compliance, to reduce your workload, and to make the CE experience smoother for everyone involved. If you have questions or run into issues, remember, our help center is always available, and you can reach out to our support team anytime at help@cereported.com. Please note, if you're viewing this on our online CE platform, you'll need to take the final exam in order to receive your DPR continuing education credit. That's coming up next. Thanks for watching, and thank you for supporting high-quality continuing education in California agriculture. We're glad to have you in the CE Hours Reported community.